Good morning, this is BBC Two, waking up to Tuesday and another CBBC holiday morning. This is BBC Two, now our morning film, Asterix and Cleopatra.
Due to our coverage of the Queen Mother's funeral, BBC Two has some changes this afternoon. In a moment, the news. Then at 1:20, Wildlife on 2, followed at 1:50 by Stefan's Ultimate Gardens. Neighbours is at 2:10, and then the Master's official review begins at 2:35. The news now on BBC Two with Anna Ford. We've a few changes this afternoon on BBC Two, which means Stefan's Ultimate Garden is in half an hour after a remarkable journey into the Eagle Empire. Because of the coverage of the funeral of the Queen Mother, there are a few changes to our programmes here on BBC Two this afternoon. Up next, we're giving a garden a makeover with Stefan's Ultimate Gardens. Neighbours is in 25 minutes here on BBC Two and a change to the schedule lineup. First, Stefan's green fingers work their magic. That programme was one of the changes we have this afternoon, continuing with Neighbours here on BBC Two next. A look at the US Masters in 25 minutes here on BBC Two and a change to the schedule. First, it's a trip to Ramsay Street. This is BBC Two, and in a change to the scheduled programme, a salute to Tiger Woods in the US Masters Review. Red peppers or green tomatoes, ready, steady, cook in 45 minutes on BBC Two after Esther. She's sharpening her talons, Anne Robinson, and The Weakest Link is in 45 minutes on BBC Two after Ainsley. Don't miss The Naked Chef tonight on BBC Two at 8, followed by the last in the series of Gary Rhodes' Cookery Year at 8:30. Whose village is missing an idiot? Time to find out now on BBC Two in The Weakest Link. Tom and B'Elanna are about to hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet. Star Trek Voyager in 20 minutes on BBC Two. That's coming up after The Simpsons.
Homer piling on the pounds tomorrow night. Any excuse to get out of work. The Simpsons, usual time, 6 o'clock on BBC Two. David Cassidy dragging up the past with Top of the Pops 2 tonight. Relive your youth in 45 minutes. After an uncertain future for some, now on BBC Two. Something new from Celine, Sting and Jules Holland next on BBC Two tonight with BBC Choice a bit more in your face with Robot Wars Extreme. This is BBC Two. You knew that already. There's a preview of next week's sporting coverage in the new issue of Radio Times, which also contains listings for all major television channels. Now on BBC Two, some people have all the luck. Benedict Allen is the only Englishman I've heard of who's actually blessed with a mad dog.
Look at that, you don't get those in the supermarket.
Now this is going to take very little time to cook.
Have to learn still a lot of English.
The Tasty Tuesday night on BBC Two.
Now this is going to take very little time to cook.
Have to learn still a lot of English.
Plenty of food for thought still to come for Tuesday night. Something special to see you through August now. Nothing but the best from Gary Rhodes. And Gary's selection of tasty seasonal recipes bursting with spring and summer flavours are available in the book to accompany the series. Take part in a major new television series. Fill out the nation's favourites food survey to reveal the nation's culinary habits at bbc.co.uk/food.
Have to learn still a lot of English.
Fletch, I'm thinking Neville.
The State of the Nation here on BBC Two tonight. Spanish nurses saving the day, or maybe the NHS. BBC Two now keeping an eye on some well-known trouble at the top. The pen is definitely mightier than the sword now on BBC. Of course, a packet of snouts speaks volumes. The cut and thrust of the business coming up on BBC Choice tonight. The comic thriller Art of War starting in half an hour. You can enjoy more classic episodes of Porridge available on BBC Audio Cassette. This is BBC Two, now Newsnight with Jeremy Paxman. Anything to escape poverty. To a Black Britain report on how drug smuggling and death often go hand in hand. Swapping home for office and vice versa, trading places, a change to our schedule in 10 minutes. So now on BBC Two, if you feel like you're coming apart at the seams, watch and learn. Dispatch Box is back tomorrow night on BBC Two, and in its place, a gentle reminder that the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the office.
Switched on throughout the night. This is BBC Learning Zone. Good evening. Coming up, the scientific story of ozone depletion over the poles and how people in different cultures approach the subject of death. Two from the OU coming shortly. Preparations for Key Stage 3 science tests continue at 2. This programme covers changing materials, chemical reactions, electricity and magnetism. Parts 9 to 12 of the French experience at 4, talking about home and leisure, ordering food, coping with health problems and going mad about gardening. At 5, advising land-based businesses and managing staff, plus a look at target setting and motivation. And back at 6, the OU questions the huge US Navy and Air Force presence in the Pacific. First on BBC Learning Zone, ozone depletion. Comparing the risks of random events now on BBC Learning Zone, the OU asks if they really come out of the blue. Exploring the many phases of bereavement now on BBC Learning Zone, the OU looks at the ways people around the world come to terms with their own mortality. Not many people relish revision work, but it's easier to digest when it packages. Science is the subject and we're gearing up for Key Stage 3 national tests. Visiting France has never been easier, but learning the language is a bit harder. BBC Learning Zone is here to help. Parts 9 to 12 of the French experience coming up, covering leisure activities, food, health problems, and to start, feeling at home.